Woo! Welcome to Live, because boy, we done screwed it up already. What's going on, everybody? This is the RANT Experience, and this is Rant Friday Live, where, you know, we have fun and it's a bit looser, but we promise to entertain you the best we can. Hallelujah, praise God. Hold on, since my pre-recorded script wasn't here, I have to now read it. Shout out to the sponsor of this video, AJsRANT.com. Go cop you some cool merch and show support for the great things we are building over here at AJ's Rant Room. Also, make sure you like and subscribe and turn on your notifications so you get new uploads and live streams hot off the presses. New episodes of the Rant Experience drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now, let's get into it. Jesus. This live stuff, I don't know about it. All right. So Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. appeared on the what is this? The View. I almost said the Chew. I'm hungry. Almost appeared on The View, and no one was surprised by the stuff that came out of his mouth. Take a look.
Since you left office, there have been a number of books that have come out that claim in your final year there was a dramatic decline in your cognitive abilities. What is your response to these allegations, or are these sources wrong?
Not since the Civil War. We had a circumstance where we were in a position that the pandemic ended up over 1 million people dying. We found ourselves unable to deal with a lot of just basic issues, and which I won't go into in the interest of time. You know, one of the things and
Alyssa, you know, one of the things I think is that the people who wrote those books were not in the White House with us, and they didn't see how hard Joe worked every single day.
You see Mama and take over. We didn't have to hear about your cognitive decline, Joe Biden. We saw it in 3 and 4K. Nobody had to tell us about it. We didn't need no tell-all book. We saw what we saw. People covered for you. So what? You're no longer president. Just own it at this point. Nobody cares. You're sitting up there. Why are you still out here? Why are you still talking? Why are you making any press round? Why are you doing this at this point? He went on to say in this stupid interview, which, you know, they coddled him and made him feel like he was the king of the world and his shit don't stink. But went on to say, oh, Kamala lost because of sexism. No, Kamala lost because she was a bad candidate and he would have won. Well, if you would have won the race, why did they push you aside, Joe Biden? Why did they discard you like trash and moved on to the next hot new thing that they thought was going to get them the executive branch? I was going to say something else. Why are you even out here, Joe Biden? Why are you talking to anybody at this point? Nobody cares what you have to say. You were a disaster of a president. It was awful. All 4 years, awful. 81 million votes for no reason. Because if it was really that great, they wouldn't have tried to replace you. It wasn't until you embarrassed the Democrat Party on that debate stage with Donald Trump that they said, oh, we got to do something about this. He's not going to make it through an election season. He worked so hard. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Stop playing in our face. This man worked less than an administrative assistant. He spent a lot of time on the beach, most vacations ever. What are we talking about? This man wanted to die a president. That's it. Joe Biden wanted to die a president. That was it. You got your wish. Shut up now. Your third time running, by any means necessary, you were going to be president. That was it. You're now in the books. You're the 46th president of the United States. Can we move on? Because The View is not a platform you go on when you really want to be challenged. You're not going to go there. The View won't even have Donald Trump on there. So that's flawed right there. Go talk to somebody that's really going to challenge your old, dusty, decrepit, dementia-ridden ass. Because you won't do it. You just won't. Because you know damn well that if somebody challenges you, there's no script. There's nobody there telling you don't have your emotional support animal, aka your wife, sitting there. She's just there to pick up. Oh God, he's fumbling the answer. Let me save him. That's all she's doing. We are bored. We are sick and tired of you people playing in our faces. You are gaslighting the American people. You are gaslighting the idiots who voted for Kamala into believing all their rights are going to be taken away. Everything's being stripped from you. Oh my gosh. Donald Trump's the second coming of Hitler. Oh my God, fascism. Oh my God, unconstitutional, constitutional crisis. How many more things are you? Could you imagine waking up every day that damn worried? You just worried all day, every day. You just worried. You just mad and worried. Nobody got time for this. Stop playing in our faces, people. People got to be smarter. You really got to start thinking, people. Because this right here, this ain't it. And I had a clip from CNN, but I don't know where it is. I have no idea where the clip from CNN is. Hold up, wait a minute. Check the folder, Did it save it? I don't think I have it for y'all. Oh, man, I wanted y'all to see Scott Jennings mop the floor. Because you know I love Scott Jennings. Oh, well, we tried, y'all. But Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., please stop. There's nothing more we need from you. If you were the guy, they would have kept you at the top of the ticket. They wouldn't have pushed you aside. You wouldn't have been discarded. Kamala Harris was a weak candidate. She was weak. She flip-flopped on every issue, and she could not own any of the mistakes that the Biden-Harris administration made. Who's trusting in that? And the only reason why she got as close as she got was because she had the money to pull it off, to manipulate social media, the money to buy celebrities' endorsements. That's why she got as close as she got. And then you add on the female and the colored and the emotionalism and the symbolism of it all, and you got close. But you didn't get the prize. And look, since November 4th, been acting like baboons' asses, outraged by every damn thing. Everything's somebody else's fault. Oh, it's somebody. Oh, this person has to pay for it. This person's a problem. You're the problem. How about you're the problem? Did that ever occur to you that you might be the problem? Did it ever occur that you just might have lost because you just were not that person? It wasn't in the cards. You were a DEI hire. You were never supposed to be president. It was all about symbolism. You said in every interview, you dodged every question. You did one debate with Donald Trump. You dodged every question, but you successfully baited Donald Trump into going off the rails because you knew you couldn't answer any of those questions effectively. And Donald Trump took the bait because you know you don't insult Donald Trump's rallies. He choreographs them rallies down to a science. So there was no way in hell that Donald Trump's gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna just let that slide. Nah, Donald Trump's an artist and he's sensitive about his shit. And that's just what's gonna be. Oh man, wait, hold on. Where did I go? I just literally disappeared. There I am. Here I am. All right, cool. So I guess since I don't have the second video, which was so odd, and why do I still have trifecta hour notes up here? I don't know, because we live to live. That's why we live to live. But here we go. Boo Bit, what you got? Are you ready for an uncomfortable conversation, people? Because that's what we're about to have as soon as I can find the commercial break. All right, we'll be back with an uncomfortable conversation. Hallelujah. Praise God.
It's always lit over at AJsRANTroom.com. We got the best bags and accessories, our beloved Black Series. We got fresh lids for you hat lovers, fire jackets and hoodies, and of course we got you covered on the t-shirts. And introducing our first shoe line, Aloysius Germain. So get on over to AJsRANTroom.com today and get to shopping. You won't.
Hey, you won't be disappointed. Oh, see, I just closed the thing. All right, so backing the blue. So just because I back the blue, I support police officers. I think police officers do great work. I think most police officers are good people. But am I required to back the bullshit when it comes to police officers? Not all, some. Because it's always a small group of anybody who ruins it for the greater group. Because when I see stuff like this going on, I see officers getting acquitted who had no right to get acquitted. I can't sit by idle and just say, oh, yeah, well, I understand, it was a great case. Now, they had their day in court. Clearly, the prosecution could not prove beyond a reasonable doubt, or something went wrong because I don't have all the facts of the case yet, because we didn't see much of the case. We can get transcripts and stuff. But I would love to see what the defense pulled up. But watch this.
All right, polling the jury, having found that this is a unanimous verdict, the court will read the verdict as follows. In indictment 2300241, State of Tennessee versus Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, and Justin Smith, if counsel would like to stand with their clients. The verdicts read as follows. Count 1, second-degree murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Tadarius Bean, not guilty. Count 1. We, the jury, find the defendant, Demetrius Haley, not guilty. Count 1. We, the jury, find the defendant, Justice Smith, not guilty. Count 2. Aggravated assault, acting in concert. We, the jury, find the defendant, Tadarius Bean, not guilty. Count 2. We, the jury, find the defendant, Demetrius Haley, not guilty. Count 2. We, the jury, find the defendant, Justin Smith, not guilty. Count 3. Aggravated kidnapping with bodily injury. We, the jury, find the defendant, Tadarius Bean, not guilty. Count 3. We, the jury, find the defendant, Demetrius Haley, not guilty. Count 3. We, the jury, find the defendant, Justin Smith, not guilty. Count 4. Aggravated kidnapping with a deadly weapon. We, the jury, find the defendant, Tadarius Bean, not guilty. Count 4. We, the jury, find the defendant, Demetrius Haley, not guilty. Count 4. We, the jury, find the defendant, Justin Smith, not guilty. Count 5, official misconduct, unauthorized exercise of official authority. We, the jury, find the defendant, Tadarius Bean, not guilty. Count 5, we, the jury, find the defendant, Demetrius Haley, not guilty. Count 5, we, the jury, find the defendant, Justin Smith, not guilty. Count 6, official misconduct, refraining from performing a duty. We, the jury, find the defendant, Tadarius Bean, not guilty. We, the jury, find the defendant, Demetrius Haley, not guilty. We, the jury, find the defendant, Justin Smith, not guilty. Count 7, official oppression. We, the jury, find the defendant, Tadarius Bean, not guilty. Count 7, we, the jury, find the defendant, Demetrius Haley, not guilty. Count 7, we, the jury, find the defendant, Justin Smith, not guilty. All verdict forms have been signed by the foreperson. Attorneys, you can have a seat with your clients. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have performed your duty. We appreciate the time and attention that you all have given to this case. We will now excuse you all from the courtroom.
So I'm supposed to back that, y'all? I'm supposed to back that? That's what I'm supposed to back. If you've never seen the video of Tyre Nichols, what they did to that man, if you've never seen those videos, I would advise you to go back and watch the video of what these three got state charges, but all 5 of them did to this young man before he died 3 days after his injuries. And I needed y'all to hear all the counts read out because that really gives you a picture as a family member of what the hell is this and how the hell did this happen. So I'm looking forward to the documentaries on this and how we got here and what was presented, because it was a federal there were no cameras in the courtroom. It was literally a full-fledged assault of this young man. And you mean to tell me the feds got it right? So the feds got it right and y'all couldn't get it right on the state level? So all 5 officers pled guilty or were convicted on lesser federal charges, including witness tampering and excessive force with injury. And this was 2023. Yeah, this was 2023, January 2023 to be exact. And I was so flabbergasted because I when it was first sent to me, I was sitting there like, nah, there's no way. There was no way. Like no idiot could watch that footage. I want to know what was omitted. I want to know how much information the jury had because I don't get it. Now I understand that they did move the trial from Memphis all the way across the state of Tennessee to Chattanooga. That I do know. I also know that it was an all-white jury. So if it's an all-white jury, you moved it hundreds of miles away to the other side of the state. I don't know if those played factors. I got to talk to these jurors. I can't say it was. You can't say it's racism. They let black men off. So is it a police thing? I don't know. But these counts. Let's go back to the counts. Second-degree murder. Okay, that's that's a lot to prove in the court of law. Okay, whatever. Aggravated assault, acting in concert. Aggravated kidnapping with bodily injury. Aggravated kidnapping with a deadly weapon. Official misconduct, unauthorized exercise of official authority. Official misconduct, refraining from performing a duty. And official oppression. So you mean to tell me that if the jury was allowed to see that they sat there and said, yeah, they should get off clear, all seven counts, even though the feds took them down, but the state of Tennessee, you should be ashamed of yourself. How could you mess this up? Who were the prosecutors? Who was the state? Who represented the state? There is no way in hell that these three men should be able to just walk back onto the streets. Granted, they lost their careers, which they should have. And don't spare me because they were 5 black officers because they got fired by a black woman. Their boss was a black woman. She cleared it up immediately. You got to go. So if they lost their jobs damn near immediately, the feds convicted them, and you mean to tell me where it really mattered, because they're only going to get slaps on the wrist for the Fed stuff. None of that's going to be life in prison. Go back and watch that. I wish I could play it here, but I can't. Go back and watch the Tyre Nichols video. They beat that man. They beat the brakes off of him. They beat that boy senseless. And I'm sitting here today like, how did we mess this up? Because there are times where police are unjustly accused. I'm with you on that. But this is something I can't co-sign.
That breaking news, the man charged with murdering Hamilton County Sheriff's Deputy Larry Henderson has been denied bail. Thank you for joining us at noon. I'm Megan Mitchell.
And I'm Stephen Albritton. This morning's bond hearing for Rodney Hinton Jr. showed a lot of emotion during and after the court proceedings. We're leading the way with live team coverage. Brian Hamrick breaks down what happened in court. Our Jock Maluka joins us with how emotions ran high during that hearing. And our Todd Dykes has reaction from the sheriff after the hearing. Let's start with Brian Hamrick with that judge's decision. Brian.
Yeah, Stephen, what was an emotional tornado inside the Justice Center here. You have deputies who just lost a friend, a co-worker in the same room with the family of the man who is accused of killing him. Now, just a matter of seconds after Rodney Hinton Jr. entered the courtroom, an outburst, a man came to the front claiming he was Hinton's brother, trying to get his attention. This is what happened.
Have a seat. Have a seat.
Have a seat, sir. Sit down.
Yeah, now the outburst goes on. Hinton is escorted out of the courtroom. They finally get things under control, and Hinton returns to the court for this hearing to hold him on no bond. It's a special hearing. It requires evidence to be presented. A prosecution called a Cincinnati police detective who said Hinton had been at the police station to meet with the chief and to see body cam of police from the day before. That body cam showed officers shooting Hinton's son, Ryan Hinton, to death. And it came as they stopped the stolen car. After leaving that scene and seeing this video, the detective said Hinton was very emotional. Family didn't even want him to drive home. He didn't, but he came back later to get his car, and then he headed to the area of the UC campus where Deputy Larry Henderson was directing traffic for the UC graduation. The detective said Hinton picked out the first officer he saw and accelerated toward him.
Through the intersection, directly at where Deputy Henderson was standing, struck Deputy Henderson and the metal utility pole on the northeast corner of the intersection.
Okay. Were there any evidence of skid marks?
No, there were no indications at any point that he tried to brake, stop, or otherwise avoid Deputy Henderson.
I think the conduct in question is classic mental illness, criminal conduct. It's always intentional, it's bold, it's conspicuous.
I don't know that...
That's a hallmark sign that somebody is not in their right frame of mind, no attempt to deceive, no attempt to hide what they did.
Yeah, so that was Clyde Bennett. That is Hinton's attorney. He made no secret that he's going to use mental health as part of his defense in this case. And in the end, he didn't even argue with the idea of not having bond for Hinton. In fact, the only thing he requested was that he gets mental health while he's in the Claremont County Jail. Reporting live, Brian Hamrick, WLWT News 5.
Yeah, he shouldn't have got bail. You wasn't getting that anyway. Even if he advocated for it, you wasn't getting it. This was stupid. And this is the criminality that I talk about. This is the criminality that we are hell-bent on protecting. How about your son not run? How about your son not be in a stolen car? How about your son not having a legal firearm? And maybe his black ass would still be here. What a thought. You can be distressed, you can be upset, you could be frustrated, but you blaming the wrong people. You think law enforcement would be involved if he was in his car with all his legit papers and had a perfectly legal firearm, that this would have been the outcome? No. He was already making bad decisions. Your son was already a piece of shit. You knew your son was out there doing shit that he shouldn't have been doing. And you go blame the police? No, that motherfucker's not alive because he couldn't take commands and he couldn't, and he knew that he was in the wrong. You got to know when to call it out and when to stand. Are there times where officers get it wrong? Yes. Dante Wright comes to mind off the top of my head. But to think that every time there's an incident between a black person and a white officer, it is racially motivated and they just out here mowing down niggas. No, they not. If your paperwork's legit, you ain't got no issues. If the car ain't stolen, you ain't got no issues. If your firearm is legit, what are we running for? Oh, it wasn't a stolen car. He was behind on payments. Okay, so now they blowing up niggas because they are behind on car payments? If that's the case, everybody's a target. What are we talking about here? Y'all will make excuses for any person in this situation. There is no excuse. If you feel you've been unjustly pulled over or the police are doing something extra, you don't settle it right there at the scene. That is not your opportunity to settle the score. You know it's being recorded, number one. So use that as your defense and to live another day. But you're running because you're wrong. You're running because of criminality. You're running because you know that you're going to get pinned up for something. And as soon as they pin your ass up, you're going to play victim to that too. We got to take accountability for some of this. So this father running around here. So then this goes right here. What did his father do? No, his father didn't say, yeah, you know, my son made a grave mistake that cost him his life. No. Your father decides, well, I'm just going to go commit a crime. So after your son commits a crime and gets hemmed up and gets blown up, you decide, oh, well, I don't like that my son got killed by police officers. So I'm going to assault the first police officer I see. I'm going to just do it. Henderson had nothing to do with this. He wasn't part of it. And I believe I read where it said he was retired and he was just volunteering. So I just go out to volunteer. Honey, I'll be back later. Not knowing this is the last time you're going to see your husband because of some bullshit. We got to do better, people. This whole we shall overcome bullshit. No, this is not we shall overcome. This is not racial profiling. This is us not having our shit together. Is getting pulled over fun? No, it's never fun. It's never fun to get pulled over. Because there's always that thing in the back of my mind, like, what if there was something out there that, he might be able to pull up when he goes to check my license. But even then, I'm not gonna act an ass. But I know all my paperwork's legit. Registration's current. Everything's legit. So if you've done nothing wrong, why are you running? Why are you running? We got to stop protecting the trash amongst us. We got to stop protecting the low totem pole blacks. And I like that his hold on, I think I have a video of his family. They were somewhat sensible. They still tried to protect him a bit, but they weren't as bad as I thought they might have been. But they actually decent. They were decent. Hold on. I think here we go. Boom.
Craig, Tanya, a very emotional news conference wrapping up. You had family members multiple times breaking down into tears. It's obvious that this is still very fresh and very painful for them. We heard from attorneys representing the estate of Ryan Hinton, along with his own family, grandfather, grandmother, little sister, cousin. They wanted to share more about how they are remembering Hinton after his death. But the press conference began with attorneys offering condolences to the family of retired Hamilton County Sheriff's Deputy Larry Henderson. They consider his death another tragic loss. Family called the media here to speak on the life of Ryan Hinton, but also to raise questions after reviewing body camera footage from his death. Their main question is this: was the officer justified in using deadly force?
As I seen in the video about my grandson, I seen two scared people. I seen the officer scared, and I seen my grandson scared. So it's an unfortunate incident that happened. So that's all I seen. It was like, I didn't see the police there trying to kill. No. What I seen was two persons made a mistake. My grandson made a mistake being there, and the officer, he was trying to get back to his family too.
We're also learning more new information tonight. Hinton's family says he attended Don High School before it shut down. He was not in school at the time of his death. Family and attorneys didn't dispute otherwise that Hinton was sitting in a stolen car or had a gun on him at the time of the incident. His cousin says, however, he should not have been in that stolen car because he was locked out of the house the night before.
I was asleep. Ryan, I'm so sorry. This was never supposed to happen to you. Ever. I'm so sorry, Ryan. I'm so sorry, Ryan. Just know he won't supposed to be there.
Like we said, a very, very emotional press conference that wrapped up about an hour ago. The family is asking the public not to rush to judgment. Their attorneys are reviewing every report and angle of the incident they can get their hands on. At that point, attorneys say they will announce what, if any, steps they will take. We also asked about Ryan's father, Rodney Hinton Jr. Family did not want to take many questions regarding him, though we can tell you he faces aggravated murder charges, and he will be back in court tomorrow for a bond hearing. He's currently in custody at the Claremont County Jail.
Great. You ain't getting bond. You ain't getting no insanity thing is not going to work. The insanity thing is not going to work. And please don't try to go to that court and perform, because it's going to make it worse for you. But the family was somewhat sensible. But I still need the connection of how you got locked out the house, getting locked out the house, and you ended up in a stolen car. I'm trying to make that connection because I can't make that connection. So your father makes a dumb decision and you're supposed to believe that your son made the right decisions? You raised him. Oh, okay. This is unfortunate all around. But you do dumb things, you got to pay for it. This ain't no Gary Pluchet here, like where you blowing someone's brains out because they were assaulting your child. That's different. An innocent officer because he just happened to have on a uniform that you didn't like. If y'all don't get out of my face with this emotionalism, oh my God. Always an excuse. There's always a freaking excuse. All of this, never this. I don't even have any more. I'm drained. Ah, good cheese. We will be right back. All right, live to live, people. So, of course, I put the video in the background section. Give me a moment, people. I don't know about this live show stuff. This is annoying. I thought I was ready. You know, live to live. Inked. I'm going to need you next week. Oh, jeez, good cheese and bread. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm playing my drop. I worked hard on these damn drops. We gonna have them. They gonna be ready to go. Care what y'all say. Y'all gonna wait. It's processing. All right. Okay, it's almost done. Give me 2 seconds. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. There's a video that I'm supposed to put over here, and there it is. Booyaka. Thank y'all for y'all patience as we go through our live to live technical difficulties. All right, cool. Now it's time for our Turntable Rewind. All right. So on this day in 1992, the final episode of The Golden Girls aired. Here's a clip in honor of B. Arthur, Ruth McClanahan, Betty White, and Estelle Getty.
But after 7 years, the Golden Girls are waving goodbye. Sort of. With the departure of actress B. Arthur, the show is changing its name, its network, and its casting. So tonight, the gals are marking the end of an era.
This is Golden Girls, episode number 180.
Face it, nothing lasts forever. You're going to get married. I'm going to move in with my daughter. Chuckle, 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 chuckle.
There's a sadness there. We're breaking up a family. The four of us have been a family.
Because we knew it was coming, we knew it was coming, we knew it was coming. It was like, I'll be glad when it's over so that I don't have to think about it again.
I've always hated change, and this has been really the 7 happiest years of my entire professional life, so you just hate to see it.
That's the difference. I love variety.
Oh, and I keep everything exactly the same if I possibly could.
Oh, God, I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss you so
I'm gonna
much.
Hold, please.
Please. I'm delighted to be moving on, and this has been a great deal of fun, but I hate pain, and I really don't want to feel any pain, and I've chosen not to be nostalgic or sentimental about this. But
without the nostalgia, I think you miss a lot too. I think you miss some of those good things that you clutch and take home with you.
So for now, the Golden Girls savor the end of a very successful chapter.
We, I think, are the only show on television that I know of where there were no additions and no subtractions. Nobody was added to the cast, nobody left the cast for 7 years.
You think I'm nostalgic about some things. I mean, I'm saying goodbye to Bee, sadly, but if I were saying goodbye to Rose, I would be a mess.
Now that would get me if we were saying goodbye to these characters.
Yes,
That
if you
would
were
get
leaving
me.
Blanche, that would do it.
That'd be very difficult to do.
It's going to hit me in about a month. I don't know what I'm going to think then. I'd rather doubt that I'm going to say, why the hell did I quit? No, I know I won't.
So as these 4 Emmy-winning actresses set out in search of new challenges, they say goodbye to a program that feels like an old friend. And come to think of it, so do we.
Oh, it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. There have been some hilarious things that have happened.
Someday we'll be saying, now boys and girls, when we were on Golden Girls.
What a great piece of television, nostalgia in these streets. But let's keep going with the theme of 1992. The #1 song on the Billboard Hot 100 chart on May 9th, 1992 was Jump by Criss Cross. Jump, jump, Mac Daddy Maker. It topped the chart for 6 weeks. The #1 album was Rope in the Wind by Garth Brooks. It was also the best-selling album of 1992, and the #1 movie in America on May 9th, 1992 was Basic Instinct. It was released in theaters April 18th, and it starred Michael Douglas and Sharon Stone. And moving along to the year 2020, on this day, the architect of rock and roll, Little Richard, died of bone cancer at the age of 87. He had his biggest hits in the 1950s and was known for his exuberant performances and flamboyant outfits. With the likes of Chuck Berry and Elvis Presley, he was one of a handful of U.S. acts that mixed blues, R&B, and gospel that led to the evolution of rock and roll. He sold more than 30 million records worldwide with hits like Good Golly, Miss Molly, Lucille, Tutti Frutti, and Long Tall Sally. All right, and with that said, what are we doing here? Oh, we're going to a break. We will be right back.
It's always lit over at AJsRANTroom.com. We got the best bags and accessories, our beloved Black Series. We got fresh lids for you hat lovers, fire jackets and hoodies, and of course we got you covered on the t-shirts. And introducing our first shoe line, Aloysius Germain. So get on over to AJsRANTroom.com today and get to shopping. You won't.
All right, now it's time for an AJ throwback. Woo! There you go, AJ. AJ in the building. Hey, I love this shoot. I have so many images from this shoot. It got riskier, then the shorts got lower. This was a fun shoot. I want to say this was in Queens, New York. I think this was in Queens, New York, if I remember correctly. But fun shoot, fun times. AJ likes to be naked. That's not a new one. And I don't want to show all the images, so as the show grows and the audience gets bigger, I will be sharing more images of my fun days in front of the camera. Anyway, shut up, Inked. Yes, I do like myself. Y'all like looking at it too, so stop lying. So acting like you don't like the view. You like the view. Anyway, shout out to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for always holding me down. Shout out to my Rant fam. Thank y'all all out there for showing up tonight and showing up and supporting AJsRANTroom.com and all my other socials. Shout out to my Trifecta Hour fam. And right quick before we roll, these are my socials. Make sure you follow me, AJ's Rant Room. I'm on the TikTok. I'm on the X. You can subscribe and turn on your notifications here. And you can also follow me on the Instagrams. With that said, to some of you, this might be just another podcast, but to me, this is the next chapter in purpose. And I thank you for lending me some of your time. You could be anywhere in the world right now, but you chose to give me a few moments of your evening. And for that, I'm grateful. And with that said, I'm out.